For an entire year, XTERRA Adventures has been bringing you races and stories from around the world. Now as the 2021 season comes to a close, we're finally at the proverbial finish line, the XTERRA World Championships in Maui, Hawaii. Not only is the scenery some of the most beautiful Mother Nature has to offer, but she also threw some weather curveballs at our athletes, calling in their resilience and grit as well. The weather in Hawaii is often unpredictable, going from sunny and bright 1 minute to windy and rainy the next. For many of our athletes, the trek to Hawaii is the long-awaited reward for a long-fought season and hard-won qualification. For those, this is a vacation, well-earned, often enjoyed with family and friends. For others, this is the competition they've been waiting for. The chance to go up against the fastest and strongest and fight for a podium position and maybe a few bragging rights. But either way, as one touches down on the island of Maui, jaws are often on the floor at the sight of the luscious green flora, the unbelievably deep blue aqua of the Pacific Ocean, and the warmth of welcome the Hawaiian locals display.
Good afternoon, welcome, and aloha.
To get the community fired up to be together again and do our part to keep the beautiful race location pristine and free from trash, we started the weekend with a gathering and small beach cleanup to get the XTERRA spirit flowing. All season long, at each XTERRA race, sustainability and environmental improvement has been a part of the weekend. From explogging China to trail maintenance in Alabama, to a zero-waste race in Wellington, to algae examination in Utah, and raising money for conservation unions in Germany, the XTERRA community always does its best to protect the natural environments that make each and every race so special and beautiful. Athletes have come from near and far, many for the first time, others for many years, to participate in either the XTERRA Trail Run World Championships on Saturday or the XTERRA Off-Road Triathlon World Championships on Sunday.
This is my first time in Maui. I'm nervous and excited. I've qualified a couple of times. This is the first time I can go.
I've been coming for about 15, 16 years, something like that.
Maui is a very special place. It has great energy, great spirit.
I've had a lot of great races here. It's pretty crazy to think that I'll be going for my 6th win here.
Saturday morning dawned with a mix of sun and clouds, the perfect weather for a trail run through the Maui hillside. The main event was a 21K run, but participants could also choose to compete in a 10K, 5 or 3.3K run, making it a special day for runners of all ages.
Coming from Vancouver, it's about 2 degrees. Really excited just to go for a really long run in nice temperature for a change. And also to toe the line with so many amazing athletes as well. So that's really cool.
Some amazing athletes indeed lined up at the starting line, including 4-time champion Joseph Gray on the men's side and defending champion Grayson Murphy on the women's side. The course took athletes up steep mountains, lots of natural challenges, and even a beach run to finish it off. This is the first time the race has been held on Maui, and athletes got to preview their course prior to the race.
If you didn't know, there's mountains, volcanic mountains maybe on Maui, and so it's a lot of ups and downs, twists and turns. This was a really cool course, a lot of single track, going through the jungle, going through all sorts of things.
The men's race was stacked with elite runners from around the world, but Gray, ever the champion, pulled away on a challenging course for his 6th XTERRA World Trail running title in a time of 1:22.25. Andy Walker took second just under 2 minutes back. Najim Mahmood rounded out the top 3. On the women's side, defending champion Grayson Murphy of Utah was out in front from the start and never looked back. The race for second saw Catherine Short of Half Moon Bay, Canada, catch Bailey Kowalczyk of Colorado in the last 400 meters on the beach to take second by a mere second. While the Trail Run World Championship lured some of the biggest names in running, the XTERRA World Championship Triathlon had some star power show up as well. A few athletes who had competed in the 2020 Tokyo Olympics earlier this year were on site in Maui, moving from the road to the dirt. One superstar that has been part of the XTERRA family for a long time, but just recently put an Olympic medal around her neck, Flora Duffy. Before she landed in Maui, we caught up with Flora in Boulder to reflect on her amazing year. XTERRA Adventures is presented by Tea Tree The Experience. Discover the magic of Tea Tree. And by XTERRA, inspiring off-road adventure by connecting people and nature. This segment is presented by Tea Tree, botanical infused hair care for all hair types and textures. Flora Duffy, one of the favorites for the race in Maui, has been reveling in her Olympic gold, while shifting her focus to training in her adopted home of Boulder for the World Championships.
On July 27th of this year, I won gold in Tokyo, which was Bermuda's first ever Olympic gold medal, our second Olympic medal in history. And yeah, of course, it was an incredible experience, a very proud moment of my career, probably the most, proud moment that I will have. Yeah, so many emotions went through my mind that day in the lead up to that race, a lot of pressure on my shoulders. So it was really incredible to go out there and have a great race, and then of course to win in that style and that fashion was, yeah, just spectacular, and yeah, a really special day.
Flora, growing up in Bermuda, was accustomed to road racing, and winning the gold medal in Tokyo in the road triathlon event was a culmination of a great deal of hard work from the age of 8 until now. But she credits off-road training and XTERRA racing with getting her to the pinnacle of her sport.
It was a pretty steep learning curve getting into XTERRA racing, largely because of the mountain bike. I don't come from a mountain bike background. It's something I had to learn, and yeah, it was quite tricky. Throughout racing XTERRA, I got a lot of confidence. I won a lot of races, which is really cool. And I think for me, yeah, that really helped with my confidence, that I was able to translate into my on-road racing. And then also, with XTERRA, you're out there by yourself, tackling the race. You're not relying on anyone else to shape the race. You're there just giving it your all. And kind of through that, I realized that the bike was actually kind of one of my big strengths. And so I sort of took that to my on-road racing and was really like, okay, well, I've got to use this strength to maximize how the race can work out for me. And so yeah, just kind of took those skills onto the road scene, and yeah, it's thankfully worked out.
Speaking of winning races, Flora has won the XTERRA World Championships 5 times and is hoping to make it 6 this weekend.
Yeah, to be back here after COVID, after the year that I've had, and be healthy and excited to race is like pretty massive. Yeah, it's December now. I think, probably everyone on the start list is excited to race, get it done, and then just celebrate the year and the fact that we got to be here while still navigating COVID. My game plan for the race is just to go hard from the start. Yeah, and just see what the conditions are on Sunday. We could have some crazy swell, so just kind of navigating that as best I can. And then, yeah, getting out into the bike course, it's really challenging with a lot of climbing and just finding my rhythm, staying smooth, pushing where I need to.
Fellow Tokyo Olympic medalist Hayden Wild of New Zealand was present on the men's side of the race. Wild raced in Maui in his 3rd ever triathlon back in 2015, where he won the under-19 division and was crowned world champ for that age bracket. He repeated in 2016, but hasn't been back to Maui since.
It's always been a dream of mine to come back to Maui, not just as an age grouper, but to come back as an elite. So I've always said after I finish my duties on the on-road, I would come back to Maui on the off-road and give the elites a bit of a jab.
The dream of coming back to Maui and continuing his off-road career came into focus for Wout after his bronze medal performance in Tokyo.
I guess coming from the Olympic Games, it's always been a dream come true. I started on the off-road 5 years ago and had an ambition to try and make it to the Olympic Games, and 4 years later I was on the start line in Tokyo. So to even get into the New Zealand team and to even get on the start line of Tokyo, for me, was a dream come true. To come home with a medal, it's everyone's dream to get on the podium at the Olympic Games. So yeah, to do that is it's just out of this world. But to come back to Maui and to take the world title as an elite would obviously would be like a massive dream come true. Like, it's where I started.
Maui, Hawaii, one of the most beautiful islands in the world and host of the 25th XTERRA World Championships. And this weekend, playground of some of the most elite athletes in the world. The two Olympians may have the most star power coming into the race, but some athletes from both the US and Europe who have been racing XTERRA races all season are lining up at the start as well. They are hoping their season-long off-road training and success in XTERRA races this year will see them take down the Olympic medalists. With COVID still presenting travel restrictions, a few elite athletes were unable to make the trip. Some of the biggest names in the XTERRA world are here, however, including Arthur Seria from France, Josiah Middaugh from Colorado, Ruben Ruzafa of Spain, Rom Atkinson from Costa Rica on the men's side, and Loan Duvoisin from Switzerland, Michel Flippo of Mexico, Eleonora Peroncini from Italy, and Susie Snyder of Colorado on the women's side.
My goal here is to take the win and try to be as fast as possible. I think in Europe I am one of the best. I want to really be aggressive here and try to be on the top. I think, I have the potential to win this race because I'm one of the most experienced guy in XTERRA. I'm okay with mud condition, I'm okay on the swim, I'm, I think, a good biker and a fast runner.
In 2018, I won World Championships here in Maui after my 10 years trying, and I think I for sure can do it again. You have to have one of those special days and everything has to work out perfect, you know.
One of the athletes who is always game for pushing the level of competition is veteran 15-time XTERRA US National Champion and 2015 XTERRA World Champion Josiah Middaugh. Middaugh was inducted to the XTERRA Hall of Fame earlier this weekend in honor of his illustrious 20-year career and possible impending retirement.
It possibly could be my last race here on Maui. I feel like it's time to pass the torch. It's been quite a ride. This will be my 20th year racing Maui, so I feel like it might be time to hang it up.
But that doesn't mean Josiah should be counted out this weekend.
I feel like, hey, there's nothing for me to save it for. Let's lay it all out on the line one more time, see what I can do.
On the women's side, the field is as international and decorated as the men. Loan Duvoisin has had a strong season with multiple podiums in European XTERRA races, but in Maui in 2019, she didn't finish the race.
For this year, I just would like to finish and have a good fitness. It will be hard, but my goal for this year is maybe be on the podium.
Susie Snyder is the best hope for the US women here in Maui, and she's no stranger to the event. But she knows it's an uphill battle with Flora Duffy in the shape she's in.
Competition at World Championships is always going to be high. That's what you want, right? It's World Championships. I want to win a World Championship. I want to race against the best and win, right? If I can do that, I don't want anyone to have a bad day or, you want to win fair and square. I don't believe my fitness is any better than Flora. I can't beat her fair and square, though I'd like to, and that's the goal. Realistically, I don't think that's gonna happen. But hey, anything can happen. You know, this is XTERRA, it's off-road racing.
Flora isn't an XTERRA rookie by any means, but off-road hasn't been her focus with the road racing and Olympics this year.
I haven't raced in XTERRA since 2019, so you know, that's one thing. And then I'm kind of unfamiliar with a lot of the women that I'm racing, so I think I'll just go hard from the start and see what happens.
In true XTERRA fashion, Mother Nature is the biggest competitor, and the unpredictability of the Maui weather can change the landscape of the island and the race. What makes Hawaii beloved by surfers is, of course, the swell and the large waves that come along with it. The swell did come up early in the weekend, and for safety measures, the decision was made to cancel the swim portion of the race and move to a duathlon format of run, bike, run, creating a new element for racers to contend with. But the athletes took the decision in stride and geared up for a race, possibly filled with one of Mother Nature's other elements: rain. XTERRA Adventures is presented by Tea Tree, the experience. Discover the magic of Tea Tree. And by XTERRA, inspiring off-road adventure by connecting people and nature.
Hana lana kila. We ask for focus. E ho mai gai ki mai no mai. O na mea huna no eu. O na mea e.
For race day on Maui, at the XTERRA World Off-Road Championships, nerves and tension filled the air as athletes started to warm up and assess the competition. Sunday dawned cloudy but dry. The surf at DT Fleming Beach turned dangerous overnight, and the decision to cancel the swim was confirmed to be the right one. Safety is the first priority at all XTERRA events. As the elites were first off the line, they started the first run portion in favorable conditions with tacky trails and cool temperatures. The first run lap was a quick 3K, but was followed by two challenging laps on the mountain bike for a total of 31K. Hayden Wild of New Zealand, the Tokyo Road Triathlon bronze medalist, jumped out to an early lead with a blistering time of 10:34 on the first run lap. Not far behind, however, were Brice Daubert of France, Mauricio Mendez of Mexico, Seth Ryder of Tennessee, Arthur Serrière of France, Ruben Ruzafa of Spain, and Hall of Famer Josiah Middaugh of Colorado. As the athletes started their second bike lap, rain started to fall heavily, throwing all positioning to the wind. Tire pressure threw some of the leaders off, creating frequent lead changes. Serrière and Ruzafa were leading going into the final transition, but wow, a runner at heart, passed Serrière and then Ruzafa in the first mile of the run and never looked back. Serrière ended up second to the champion by 23 seconds. Ruzafa held on for third, with Ryder coming in fourth, Sébastien Carabin of Belgium in fifth, and Middaugh in sixth. On the women's side, as expected, it was Flora Duffy's day. The Bermudan was out in front from the beginning and posted the fastest split in all three legs of the race. But that doesn't mean it was easy. The rain made for a mud bath with slipping and sliding to contend with. Eleonora Peroncini of Italy crashed due to the mud and broke her seat. Loin du Voisin of Switzerland and Mexico's Michel Flippo took advantage of Peroncini's misfortune and moved into second and third respectively. Positions they maintained until the end. Peroncini, able to fix her seat, was able to clinch fourth, and Susie Snyder of Colorado finished in fifth. This was a special day for the 23-year-old Du Voisin, who had to pull out of the 2019 race here due to a mechanical. She was able to celebrate her second place finish, surrounded by family, who all made it to Hawaii from Switzerland. Family celebrations were a trend of the weekend. as two notable athletes from the Czech Republic, Michal Piruček and Michal Piruček Jr., the race directors of the XTERRA Czech races, both competed in the race. Also, Josiah Meadow's son, Sullivan, won the 15-19 division of the triathlon, so it looks like there will be a Meadow in XTERRA future after all. It has been a season for the books for the XTERRA community, one filled with perseverance, determination and challenges, but also friends, family and achievements.
For me, XTERRA is a huge family, and yes, all people is kind and take care of the other athletes, so it's just great to race in such a great community.
You become friends with everybody, and that's really cool too. You know what I mean? It's more about the journey than the finish line.
It just feels like you're here with friends who are your chosen family. And it's just a really enjoyable experience to experience such a great place in 4 or 5 days with your closest friends.
With XTERRA, every race is completely different. It's brought me around the world, expanded my worldview, and it's really changed the person that I am, and I wouldn't trade it for anything.